What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, today is indeed going to be Wednesday, which means a new summit is now live here in Motorfest. With that is going to be the Crater Chaos with the lovely F-150 Raptor race truck. This thing is going to be new in the monster truck category, but it's not going to be a new vehicle. This thing's also going to be the same rally raid truck that's in the game currently, but it is going to be in monster, so it is technically going to be a new monster truck. Besides that, though, in the events itself, guys, I would say some people are probably going to be fairly mixed on this summit. We all do know we're going to have a Slalom, a Bullseye, and an Escape. And to be honest, all of these are fairly easy. For the Slalom, I didn't even use a score breaker. Jumped right in with the SVT Raptor. I turned around, hit the objective. Got 156,000 points. Honestly, pretty brainless. For the Bullseye, I did start on a dirt bike, then I did end up going into a plane. Got 157,000 points. Again, no score breaker set. For the Escape, I did end up picking the Kombi because you kind of have to. Wasn't a great run. Also, I was not using a Nitro Chemist, so if I was, I definitely would have got farther. I did end up using a Loot Digger that still got 147,000 points on it. So yeah, the skills are going to be fairly simple. When it does come to the events, though, we're going to have a mix of the stunt events and some of the chase events, so I feel like people aren't going to be the biggest fan of them. But here's the thing, though, I figured why not talk about all the chase events first, which are going to be all three of the ones down here. Now, the reason why I did want to talk about these three first, guys, they're all going to have the exact same objective to them. All you legitimately have to do is go toward them head on. That is it. Make sure you can get ahead of them somehow, pretty much turn around and hit them. You will get well over 200, even almost 300,000 if you do it right. But the thing is, though, be careful because I did notice the cars when you go against them, they are trying to move out of the way and stuff when you try to hit them. So do watch out for that. It is kind of annoying speeding all the way toward them and they do end up moving. But that is going to be the objective for all three of those. Fairly simple. For the other event here on the top right, it is going to be one of these scoring events. For this, though, it is going to be the one on the road. So what I did, guys, I hit the first objective. Right after that, though, you're then going to have a precision, the target, and a jump. I pretty much did circles right there, hit everything that went toward the objective after that. Got around a minute and 59 seconds, and also it was not a perfect run. I kind of wasn't aiming for that. I was honestly just trying to get this done. That seemed to be the best way to do it. After that, though, we are then going to have the Abarth race here, which is going to be the only race technically in the entire thing. Now, this one is going to be a very short race. It is going to be that one event you had to do with the motocross bike. To be honest, I would say this race is very straightforward. I'm not running pro settings or a Nitro Chemist set. Still got around 2 minutes and 14 seconds, and my driving was honestly not that great. For the other one here, though, is going to be Vehicle Own. Now, you guys are all going to recognize this event. We all do know about the crazy glitch on that one event where you could turn around and go over the wall, hit the jump. Well, funny part is, it is going to be the exact same event, and yes, you could do pretty much the exact same thing. It's honestly kind of hilarious. You can turn around, hit like the objectives there, go toward it, go over the wall ride, hit the jump, hit the objectives. What I did toward the end, though, is I hit the few objectives, I then hit the two last jumps, and then boom, went right toward the end of the objective. To be honest, it's fairly simple, man. The biggest thing is getting the route down correctly. Overall, though, I would say the summit is going to be kind of straightforward once you get it down. I do know a lot of people do not like the chase events, but all you guys have to do, once again, hit them head on. That is it. They are honestly very easy to do once you get that down. But the issue is it is going to be random on where they do end up going. So you might have to restart a bit, kind of predict it, and then go from there. Besides that, all the skills are easy. Then for the challenges where you have to pretty much do like the scoring thing, to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of those. Overall, though, if you guys have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. Besides that, let's go after this monster truck.